would you say to that student to help encourage them to understand that it's more than just the grades on the transcript, that college recruiters or companies or people who have opportunities for you to participate in events over the summer, they're looking for more than just a good grade in a class? How would you encourage that student to get involved?
I would first say to find your passion. You can just be more open-minded to things. I know that finding your passion doesn't come easy to everyone, as everyone has different goals and different interests and have many different passions that they might be focused on. But I would say to be open-minded, like go out, ask other people who stay after school what they stay after for, and just stay after one day and see if you like it. If you don't like it, you will know what you don't want to do or what you're not passionate about. But I would just say be open-minded. Try to find your passion as the goal, and just be active within your community and your school.
It's Coach D here. I'm a post-secondary and workforce readiness coach, author, and speaker. And I'm empowering educators, inspiring students, and transforming schools one conversation at a time. Welcome to Coach D Wants to Know, the podcast where we dive deep into all things post-secondary success. Whether it's career readiness through college, trade schools, the military, apprenticeships, or entrepreneurships, we're talking about it. This podcast is for school leaders, counselors, business owners, parents, and students who want to explore every opportunity behind high school. Because when we know better, we guide better. So let's jump in and uncover the possibilities together, because Coach D wants to know. Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Coach D Wants to Know. I am so blessed to be able to continue this series that I have here on super seniors. And we have another senior with us today. Her name is Ariana Boyd. I'm going to allow her to introduce herself to you all and come in her own way and help you all bridge the gap between high school and what's next after high school. So again, welcome again to another episode of Coach D Wants to Know. Let's get started with Miss Ariana. So Ariana, welcome to the show, and tell everybody who you are, what high school you graduated from, and what your plans are for after high school. Don't tell them everything because we're going to get through that in the interview, but go ahead and give them some little teasers about what's next for Ariana.
Hi, everyone. First off, I would like to say thank you for having me on today. I'm super honored. I'm a recent high school graduate from Rockdale County High School / Rockdale County Magnet School for Science and Technology. In the fall, I will be attending the University of Georgia with an intended cellular biology major, and I'm so excited to talk about my experience and my goals for the future.
I love it. Personal plug, I'm a super UGA fan, so go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. Looking forward to seeing you there and the impact you will make on that campus. I know it will be great. I've just been able to, on the sidelines, watch all the greatness you've done all the way from elementary through middle through, robotics, and just seeing you hold your own as a young Black female. And it's just been so inspiring to watch this journey. And I cannot wait to see what comes next. So for everybody else out there, if you're listening, please like and subscribe. Share this with everybody in your network. If you're watching on the YouTube channel, Coach D Wants to Know, please again like and subscribe there too, and forward it to others. We have this charge to make sure we get out as much information as we can about the positive aspects of our youth, to make sure, again, we are encouraging those who are coming behind them, whether you're in elementary school and you aspire to do what these super seniors are doing, whether you're in middle school, whether you're in high school right now, parents, whomever is watching and listening. I want this to serve as inspiration to you so that you know it is possible. It is possible, and they have been sharing key, tangible tools and strategies that you can implement right now, not next week, not next year, but you can implement this right now. So let's get started. Let's get to know Ariana. So I got my questions here. So Ariana, you said you're going to UGA and you said cellular biology, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So why did you choose that career? Why did you choose cellular biology?
So from elementary school, I've always had a passion for research and just looking at things through a scientific perspective. So as I matriculated into middle school and high school, I started to perform different research projects. Where in high school, I kind of focused on doing research on neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. And there, I kind of grew my love for research. And with the major of cellular biology, I was able to be continue that love for research, as well as go into graduate school with the same major, just going into things like that, the things that I love.
All right. So inspiring. So inspiring. And for you to know that at such a young age, um, how did that help you navigate and move through middle school and high school in the mindset of choosing clubs and organizations to be a part of? How did that help shape that mindset for you?
So that helped shape my personal mindset by it kind of creating an overarching goal or overarching passion that I was working towards. So I joined student organizations as well as research opportunities that aligned with that passion. Um, as it's grown, I was able to do more things within the field, but I that really kind of motivated me to seek more and to just be more involved within my high school and middle school career.
So, what would you tell a high schooler right now who basically goes to school every day? They do well. They do well. They get good grades. But at the end of the day, they go home. And that's all they do. And then tomorrow we go back and we repeat. And so in their mindset, I'm doing well because I get good grades. What would you say to that student to help encourage them to understand that it's more than just the grades on the transcript, that college recruiters or companies or people who have opportunities for you to participate in events over the summer, they're looking for more than just a good grade in a class? How would you encourage that student to get involved?
I would first say to find your passion. You can just be more open minded to things. I know that finding your passion doesn't come easy to everyone, as everyone has different goals and different interests and have many different passions that they might be focused on. But I would say to be open-minded, like go out, ask other people who stay after school what they stay after for, and just stay after one day and see if you like it. If you don't like it, you will know what you don't want to do or what you're not passionate about. But I would just say be open-minded. Try to find your passion as the goal, and just be active within your community and your school.
All right, I love that. That's one of the hardest things that I have um, to do in my role with coaching kids, to get involved inside the school and in the community. Again, I try to help them understand that the application for college is a holistic application. They're not just looking at a test score and a GPA. They're looking to see how you've been an impact in a positive way on your school campus and in your community. So I appreciate and I applaud you so much for taking that role on and understanding the importance of it and doing so well in it. Within your organizations, did you ever have any leadership roles or did you compete? What did you do as far as those types of activities?
So I had a plethora of activities. My high school counselor, as well as many mentors that I had throughout high school, they kind of told me to focus on things. So like split my organizations up into service, what I wanted to do, and like fun things. So as far as service, I was a member as well as the treasurer for National Beta Club. I was also in different clubs and community organizations like Rockdale Youth Action Team, where I spoke at the town hall, speaking about just teen comparison as well as drug prevention. And I was a vice president for that. More service things. I was an intern at the Rockdale Emergency Relief, which is a nonprofit within my organization. And then for as far as like um, high school like passions and career wise, I was the vice president of DECA, and I actually competed in DECA within the hospitality and tourism market. I was an international qualifier, as well as I placed top 10 with internationally within my category. As far as fun, I was a member of Camera Club. I was a member of Women on the Way to Success. And we would just go around helping throughout the school as well as take pictures and create our magnet memory book. And that was really rewarding to me. And I would not take back anything that I did. I was staying after school every day, but I really loved that. And it really kind of allowed me to have a different perspective and a different high school journey.
Okay. So very active. I can tell that. How did you balance it to make sure? I love the fact that you said you had service where you were working to make life better, but you also had a combination of fun so that you could work on some of your passions outside of all of the work. You still had fun while you were in high school.
Right.
How did you have that balance? Did you also have a job while you were in high school, or how did you manage the balance to help kids understand that it can be done? There are a lot of hours in the day. There are a lot of hours in the week. It can be done, and it's not as tasking as it may seem before you actually try to make it work. How did you help? How did you balance all of that?
The first thing I'm going to say is that it was not easy at times. It is possible, and you are able to do it. But at first, it was kind of a challenge for me to balance everything. But I first surrounded myself with people that were doing the same thing. So the people that were active as well as doing well in school and had other things going on. I kind of learned from them and surrounded myself with people like that. So it wasn't as challenging for me to balance my social life and school and everything that I had going on. I did have a job my senior year of high school. And so I would just say that Google Calendar or whatever calendar or planning that you use, that was my best friend throughout all of this. It really helped me to just stay on top of my work as well as all of the things that I have to do and all the responsibilities that I had as being involved in a leader in my school. I would also just say to be real with yourself. It's okay not to do everything at once if you know you're not able to do it. I know that my senior year, I had to kind of step down from different positions as I was working, doing scholarships, college applications. It was a lot. So I did have to be real with myself and real with my advisors on that. But I would just say surround yourself with good people that are doing the same thing. Use your planner, use your Google Calendar, and just believe in yourself. Just know that you can do it and that it is possible.
Great advice. Great advice.
Yeah.
Just a few moments ago, you said this key word that a lot of teenagers don't realize how important that word is, and you said my mentors. So, what did you get from your experience with your mentors? What made you find a mentor, or what made those mentors seek you out? And how important was that role for you that they played in helping you get to where you are today?
So I was really big on finding a mentor in my freshman year because I was aware that it was going to be a lot in what I wanted to do. I was going to need a mentor, need a helping hand. I found my mentors through different service projects. So my mentor for my service in my community was my Rockdale Emergency Relief. Um, the CEO of that, as I interned there, she really helped me a lot through just navigating different scholarships, navigating different service things within the community. I had a mentor within my school, so I kind of relied on my school counselors. And I know
Mhm.
that's one thing that a lot of people don't often do, but it really did help me as far as academics. And so I kind of try to have a mentor for every space in my life. So my service, my academics, as well as like my job. Um, just leaning on my shift leaders at my job and just learning from them and just being an open ear and just being able to just connect with people on a different level. That really helped me to find a mentor. But yeah, it's just simple as asking someone for advice or asking them to be your mentor. A lot of people are open and are here to help.
All right, I love that, and that is so true. Many of the adults in those buildings or in those spaces where you were frequenting, they want to give back. They want to make sure that they are reaching back and giving somebody a hand. So again, I applaud you so so loudly for doing exactly what we try to get most of the students to do, is to just open up, allow somebody in, and allow somebody to help guide you into your next. So congratulations again on all of that.
Thank you.
So what's one thing that people are always surprised to learn about you?
Um, Let me think about that. That's a good question. I think they're surprised to learn like everything that I do, I would say. Um, because it does seem a lot like outside looking in.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that's one thing that people would be surprised about. People all also be surprised to know that like I do have like time for myself. Like I do just like laying in the bed and watching movies and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not as much
All
as
right.
everybody.
So again, it goes back to you've done the work to find a proper balance. And I think you're able to have that downtime and that free time because, like you said, you're planning your day. You're putting everything in that calendar and you're finding the opportunities to rest and recharge as well. So you have skills right now. And I think I probably have told this to many of the people, the young people that I have interviewed. You all have the skills that most adults don't have, and that is a beautiful that's a beautiful thought for me, and for me to be in the headspace knowing that you all are going out into a world, and yes, it'll be demanding, yes, there'll be so many things going on, but you're already prepared to take on those demands. And again, that is something that a lot of adults are learning trial by error. And for you all to go out into this world and be prepared already with those skills, this is something that, again, that's why I'm having this platform, to let people know that it is possible. You all do exist. What we continue to see in the news and on social media is not the norm. That's actually the exception. It's just the exception is getting more of the attention right now. So again, that's the whole premise of me doing this over this summer, because I want to showcase all the hard work, all the accolades that you all have, all the accomplishments that you've made, and to make sure that, again, your story gets out. Other people within your age frame, like for me at my age and the role that I have, yes, they'll listen. It might take, 2 or 3 times, 7 or 8 times me saying it, just really staying on them the whole school year before it starts to sink in. But for you, someone that literally just graduated, just walked across the stage, is going to their dream school, or you're doing what they would love to do, to be able to hear from you and see that, okay, this is truly possible. All I have to do is do what she did. I think that will hit a lot heavier, and be more important to these young people than, again, they're going to hear me. They'll see some other adults in the building and they'll eventually get it. I just know in my heart that they'll get it a lot sooner because it's coming from somebody who they can relate to a lot quicker than me. So, again, thank you so much. Thank you again for agreeing to come on, because your story, and we just got started, your story is powerful and we just got started. So, how would your best friend describe you in 3 words?
My best friend would definitely say driven, kind, and I would say compassionate.
Compassionate. And I think, yeah, so driven for what you're getting ready to do in this world, definitely have to be driven. You have to have a kind spirit because of the people that you're going to encounter, the situations, the circumstances. And then along with that kindness, that compassionate spirit to be able to deal within the medical field like you'll be in there. That research is going to be key. And the people who you'll be working with are going to need to have a compassionate person who really cares about them and their well-being. So all of those are 3 great characteristics. Great, great, great. Love that.
Thank you.
Um, what's something that you love to do that has nothing to do with school or work?
I would say I love to crochet.
Oh.
Yes, I love to crochet. I learned how to crochet, I think last summer. I was at a summer camp and we kind of learned how to do it. But after that, I just started crocheting after like every day. I don't do it as like every day right now, but it really is relaxing and I really love to do it.
Okay, do you think you'll do anything like a hobby or make clothes, or what's the nicest thing that you've made so far with your crochet?
I made like a Pokemon like plushie with my
Mhm.
crocheting, and that was really nice. I was so proud of myself because it took me like 2 weeks to do it, but I did it. So yeah.
Oh, I love that. Keep going. You never know what can come out of it. Keep going, keep going. All right. What's a moment in high school where you felt the most confident, the most joyful, and the most seen? What moment would that be?
That is an amazing question. I think that moment definitely for me was when I was speaking at town hall. It was a culmination of everything that I wanted to do, just connecting with people, helping people, just using my voice for good, as well as being an integral part in my community. I'm only one person in my community, so I can only do so much, but just seeing everyone come together for the betterment of my community and just being that helping hand and that person that you can go to was just amazing for me. And just speaking on my experience and using my trials and tribulations to help other people, that was just the most amazing thing and the most rewarding thing that I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm so glad that I will have the opportunity to be doing that in college as well.
Right, and you can tell your voice, the way your face lights up. This is not just something that's scripted, something that you wrote down and you wanted to talk about. This you can see the passion in your face. And for you all that are watching this on the YouTube channel, or you can even hear it in your voice, the way you speak about making a difference, using your voice to help others. And using what you've gone through in life to help others as well. So again, you all, I get the most joy out of these, and I interview a lot of people, and for my adults, don't take this the wrong way, don't take it the wrong way, but to be able to sit in your presence and to hear so much of what I wish I had at your age, and I'm sure other adults in your life and around you is like, if I would have known this back then, or if I would have been able to do this back then. this is where this is the point where we want to get so many of our youth to. And so again, it takes all of us. It takes us telling your story, allowing you to come in your own way and speak how you need to speak and be honest and transparent, so that not only the kids get an understanding, but the parents get an understanding of how to support our teens. Our counselors get an understanding of what it is that you all need to be successful in school. Our teachers, our administrators, all of us form this village that you all need. And it sounds like you've had an amazing village inside the school and outside the school to be able to support you in your high school journey. So we're going to transition a little bit into that transition from middle school to high school, and now from high school into college. So what or who, it could be a person or it could be something else, what or who kept you motivated, especially during your senior year?
I would say there are two people,
Mhm.
well, two entities that can be motivated. I would first love to say my mom, my mother. Like, I love my mom so much. She really, truly did help me throughout my whole high school journey. Even when it got hard, it was just, she was always someone that I could go to and I could talk to. And that just poured life into me when I needed it most, especially my senior year, because it was a lot to do with everything going on, thinking about post graduation and everything. So, yeah. And then I will also say another person or another entity that motivated me was my inner child. I actually wrote my college essay on this, but my inner child was the key motivating factor throughout my whole educational career, just thinking about what I wanted to do as a child and my biggest dreams and my biggest aspirations, because I've always had this sense of like passion and sense of purpose that I wanted to carry out in the world. And just
Mhm.
thinking about that little girl, little Ariana, who had all of these dreams, it just motivates me to go harder every day and just chase after the things that I want to do.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
Shameless plug. I've known you since you've been in this world. I know your mom, and I can understand wholeheartedly why you said that, because she is so passionate about you and your brother and making sure that you all have every opportunity there is in this world. And so she has a kind spirit, just like you. And it's beautiful to know because when I work with so many students, especially my juniors and seniors, there starts to be this disconnect between them and their parent, them and their mom. And it pains me a lot because I find myself trying to, teach them like you're going to need your mom more than you know. I know it's tough. I know you're trying to, spread your wings and grow a little bit, and that about to be 18 will drive, anybody crazy. But speak to how you and your mom maintained that relationship so that not only did was she your mom, but she was your confidant and you felt comfortable going to her about that. Speak to our young ladies or our young men that are out there who are going through the roughest period probably that they've ever experienced right now, because instead of trying to grow closer, it seems like they're trying to pull away from and really just be too grown too soon without actually even knowing that this should be the greatest time of your life, because it kind of sort of is that transition from like the traditional mom role to the advising mom daughter role. So speak to how you all maintain such a close relationship so that you would call her like your champion, your number one motivator throughout this whole process.
I would definitely say, since I can remember, my mom has been very open, um, and just knowing that, well, letting me know that I can come to her through anything. We have like an open line of communication, so whenever anything happens, we're both talking to each other and trying to get to a common ground or just speak to whatever is going on. Um, I just, for me personally, from a student or a teenage perspective, I would just say that your parents are there to help. Even when tough times are like, oh, okay, like I'm grown, I can do this on my own. Like, just understand that they are here to help and they have kind of guided you throughout this moment and throughout your life. So just going to them and just being open or trying to just build that relationship and focus on fostering that relationship is a really important thing, as well as just open communication on both sides. Just being there for your student um, or your child, or just being there in general, really helps more than you may know.
Right. It is. And it's a tough transition between the parents learning how to relinquish some of the authority and to cut the strings just a little bit, not a lot. Don't totally cut the strings, the apron strings, but help them to grow up so that they are understanding how to navigate in a world where you necessarily can't be there every minute of every day, or you can't get to them quickly, but to be able to understand that you're just a phone call away. And please call, please reach out, please let me help you along the way, let me advise you along the way. That type of relationship will only come after high school if it was present before they left high school. So again, I applaud both of you all for working on that, to making sure that you have that strong enough relationship and that bond to know that that open line of communication is so key. And for other parents out there, speaking from this parent side here, that takes practice. It does not come overnight. It does not just automatically come to play, even though we would love for it. That comes with you having to understand that everything that comes out of your child's mouth, you're not going to want to hear. But to know that that child had enough of respect and love for you to be able to come with you, you got to set your own personal mindsets to the side and just, like you said, be open, be honest, be vulnerable, and help guide them in the right direction, so that again, this type of open communication that you and your mom have, it can continue to grow all the way throughout college. So again, I applaud you both for doing the hard work, because it's not necessarily easy, but it will be worth it on the other side. So congratulations on that. Um, if you could go back and talk to your freshman self, what advice would you give your freshman self?
I That is an amazing question. I feel like freshman year me was a lot. was scared, but she did have dreams, I would just say that it's gonna be okay. For starters, you're gonna be okay. It's another journey in your life. But I'll also say to just go out for the things that you want. Don't be afraid to use your voice or just say what you want and what you don't want, or just be open and just go out and do the things that you want to do without second guessing yourself or saying, "Oh, I don't know if I should do that or not." Just do it. Yeah.
I like that. There, when I was working, I had a customized freshman success course, and I had it in some school systems. And one thing I would tell the freshmen was like, run for office. I guarantee you, none of the other freshmen are going to run for office. They're just as scared and timid as you are, and we're trying to push them into it, run for it. And a number of the people who took the leap and tried it, they ran uncontested. They got the vote. They were announced that person. So I like what you said. Just go for it. Just try it. You never know. And then that one win creates a snowball effect. It's not as hard the next time. It's not as hard the next time after that. And then, like with all of what you're doing, it becomes second nature. That there's no mind mess, nothing in your mind that's clogging you up from going after all your dreams, because again, it has become a part of who you are. So all that mind trash, all of that is gone, because again, this is who you are, and you built that person based on, like you said, just go for it. Just try it. I can remember, and I believe it was middle school, I was at an event, and then I happened to look at the paperwork, and we were watching the robotics, and your team was competing. I think you all had built the box or whatever, that fight or something like that. How did you get involved into stuff like that? Or how did you jump out in areas or clubs where you don't normally see little Black girls or young middle school Black girls doing that, and not only doing it, but like winning first place and continue to win and things like that? What was that like for you, and how did you transition into those types of activities?
So, speaking towards my robotics journey, I was in an engineering class throughout middle school. That kind of prepared me for high school, but just I connected with the teacher or the instructor on a more personal level, and she was saying that she actually ran the robotics team, and she was saying that most sixth graders or most seventh graders don't usually join the robotics team, but since I kind of fostered that relationship with her, she allowed me to join the robotics team, and she kind of mentored me in that space, as she was a woman as well, of a minority woman in that space. So she kind of taught me how to just move and how to know that I'm supposed to be there and not kind of have that imposter syndrome. So I would just say through most of my opportunities, it came from just listening and fostering a relationship with my instructors or my advisors or things like that. I love robotics. I wish I could do it again a million times. I didn't do it in high school, but I did just love it in middle school, and it kind of opened me up to the STEM field. But yeah.
The fact that you're on here talking about imposter syndrome is amazing in itself, to be able, and again, I'll share what you all are achieving and what you all are exposed to, and the level of understanding you have of this at the age that you are is a true testament to the foundation that you all have built. And it's solid, and you all can definitely just spring on to the next level, because so much of what you all already understand and have overcome at such a young age, there are people who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s who are still struggling to just put the term on it, put the name on it, to put that label on it, to even understand what that means before they can pull up a mirror and address it in themselves. So again, I smile all the way through every one of these interviews because of the joy that I get, and because of the sense of I don't know, the sense of peace that I get knowing that you all are going out into this world and you're going to do grand things. It's like one of those, I told one of my students, like, we get to sit up a little taller and stand a little taller, understanding that this world is going to be in great hands. And again, if you pay too much attention to social media, if you pay too much attention to YouTube and the news, you will think that this world is going to, as they say, going to hell in a handbasket. And it's not. You all are some super achievers. You are definitely going to change and shift so much in this world for the better. And so again, thank you. I just get so much joy doing these because of who I'm able to speak to. I learn from you all, and again, it just brings me so much joy to my heart to know all that you all have done and what you will do in this work. So, what's one piece of advice that you would give to high school principals and counselors that will help them understand what students really need when they have them those 4 years in high school?
One piece of advice I would give would be to just listen. Listen to understand, I would say, for your students, for your teachers. A lot of people voice their concerns and voice what they need without people actually listening to understand them. And when they voice their opinions and things like that, I would recommend to listen. A lot of what could be changed and what could make the school system a lot more efficient would be listening to student and teacher concerns, especially teachers, as they see it every day and as it is their job. That's one thing that I would say is just to listen to understand.
Okay, I love that. Listen to understand it, not always to reply or to pretend like you're listening and the say that you met with so and so and so and so, so you know everything. But yeah, sometimes that's just a check off the box. The fact that you had these meetings or you met with SGA or you did it was on your schedule and it was accomplished. But what did you actually hear? And sometimes, did you actually read their body language? Did you hear their heart? Did you see all that they were doing within the conversation so that you can get the whole story? Is there follow up from it? Were there action steps? What did you do with what you heard? So a lot of that goes into that whole process of proper communication. And like you're saying, listen to understand them. So very powerful, powerful. Um, what programs, people, or experiences made the biggest impact on your success?
I think I have three like organizations, and then they have people associated with them as well. First, I would say DECA, the DECA organization. I'm not a marketing or business major, but with DECA being a business slash marketing focused organization, it did teach me important skills like just being able to network with other people, being able to market myself and my ideas and what I want to do, as well as clearly communicating with others. Through all of my competitions, I had to meet with different CEOs, different people of affluence, and people of status. And it really kind of taught me how to move in those spaces, as well as being able and being more confident within myself. I loved DECA. I like if you know me, like any of my friends, they like will tell you I was a DECA kid at heart. Like I literally loved the organization so much, as well as everyone I met within the organization. As I stated earlier, it taught me how to network, but I still talk to many of the people and many of the judges that I had to this day, and it really did help me throughout my high school career. So I love DECA. I would also say Rockdale Youth Leadership. It's a sophomore based organization within my community, and it just allowed all of the sophomores within the organization to go and meet with different people within the Rockdale community. So different business leaders, different people within the office, different people of the board of education. It really did help me to kind of understand the in and outs of a community and what it all takes to keep a community running and smoothly. So I love that. And Miss Deborah Neeson, she was my RAL mentor, and I loved her so much. She taught me so much. I would also, my third, I would say, would be Peer Mentor. It was an organization that I was in throughout high school, and we kind of guided incoming freshmen into the magnet school, but it just gave me a different perspective on helping others and being a mentor. And I love the organization as well. I loved all of my fellow mentors as well as my mentees, my freshman mentees. And yes, it was just those are amazing organizations that really taught me and formed who I am today.
Right. So, and I think the way you talk about DECA is very powerful because many people don't know the power of the CTSOs in the building. So those those student organizations that go along with CTAE, they are powerful organizations. Like you talked about DECA, you have HOSA with healthcare, you have FBLA, which is Future Business Leaders of America, you have TSA, which is the Technical Society. You have, oh my gosh, there's so many CTSOs that are out there available for kids to join. And not only join, but like you said, go compete, learn. It's not about so much of going and winning every award that's out there, placed in first place, going to nationals and international, like you said. It's more about the networking skills that you learn. It's more about you being able to meet adults who are in fields that you want to enter in yourself. It's about having the contact information of someone who will pick up and connect you with their network. So that's what I try to make sure all you understand. If I see you as an asset to this world, to our community, I want everybody that I'm connected to know about you as well. I'm going to connect you with those people. If we're at a business meeting or we're at a business after hours with the chamber or anywhere, and someone tells me about an opportunity, you should be top of mind because I know you. And so I can recommend you for this, or I can connect you with those people. So CTSOs are much the underrated activity in the school. You hear about the athletics, and the athletics is great. You hear about marching band and the dance team and the cheer team and all of those entities. And when people think about extracurricular activities, that's generally speaking what they think about first. But those CTSOs in the building will take you and mold you into the leaders of the school that will go on and be leaders in communities, in college, on the job, military, wherever they choose to go. So again, this is a powerful conversation to be able to encourage others to get involved in those CTSOs. So when you're on your school campus and it's time to join, please, please, please seek out whatever CTSO is out there, get involved, pay your membership dues. Don't just be going in there because they say I'm going to get a cord. That's not the reason for it. Although that's great because we want y'all to be decorated, and you were highly decorated. We want y'all to be decorated at graduation, but it's the experience that's in between there, running for leadership, meeting kids all across your state, finding your network will grow exponentially if you get involved and you become someone who actually participates and not just has your name on the membership roll. So yeah, you touched something that's near and dear to my heart. I was an FBLA advisor, and the experiences for those youth are, you can't explain the power that they possess, knowing that they stood, just like you said, before judges. And they nailed it. Like, these are people who have been in the business for years. They're CEOs and they're CFOs and they're COOs and all of these people. And you have this set of youngsters, young people, teenagers who are going up there and holding their own and presenting. And like, you're leaving judges in awe because they just cannot believe what you all know and what you all have learned and were able to put together in such a short amount of time that actually makes sense. And you all solve real world issues. So you have a real world company issue that you're having to figure out. And then these people who are our judges are like, oh, I can take that back and implement it. That would work. So again, please, if you're listening, if you're watching, find out what CTSOs you have available in your high school, in your middle school. Join, not just to have your name on the roll and so you can get the cord at the end of graduation. No, for all of the what goes in between A to Z, the networking, the empowerment, like the public speaking, that is important. All of that, and like you say, you're not a business or a marketing major, but you learned how to market yourself. And that's powerful. That is extremely powerful. You learn how to market yourself. And again, there are adults out here who cannot market themselves. So again, what the skills, the training, the experiences that you have right now are going to be transferable, and they're going to follow you throughout life. So again, kudos for taking that extra step, going the extra mile, and making sure you put time and space in your schedule for all of this. So kudos to you on that. Let's talk about the journey from high school to college, because you made that decision early on. Let's talk about the financing, the application process, all of that. And I know scholarship season can feel overwhelming. I know the application season can feel overwhelming. How did you navigate from beginning of August through Common App, through Georgia Futures, through the FAFSA, through everything to end up in a position where you are going to college for free? How did you navigate all of
that? Okay, the first thing I will say is that it was not easy for me. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, and I don't want to say that it was the most easiest thing in the world that I ever did. It was challenging for me as an overthinker and as someone that really wanted to be intentional in the process. It was challenging for me, but I did go in with a plan. I did have good high school counselors that allowed me to truly understand the process of college application. So in the summer before my high school senior year, I kind of focused on my college essay, and I kind of formulated that and I created an outline of what I wanted to say within my essay. And I also created an outline of all of the colleges that I wanted to apply to. So my safety, my target, and my reaches. So I created a reasonable list of all of the colleges, and that kind of created an outline for my first semester of college year. So that was when I was applying early application to different schools as well as regular decision. So I applied to, I think, about 20 schools. Because I did have, like, our county had a free waiver for, like, the college application. So I applied to that. Within, I want to say, April to March, I kind of had an idea of all the colleges that I got into, as well as all of the colleges that I saw myself at. And I would say that the opportunities as well as financials played a huge part in my decision. And I would say that I was applying for scholarships throughout the whole time. So I really focused on local scholarships through my community and through my different directories that I had access to. And that's where I saw most of the money that came in was through local scholarships. I got one non-local international scholarship, but most of the scholarships that I gained were local. And that really did help me, because I know a lot of people were applying to those bid scholarships. And while that is good, and while you should do that, there's a lot of money within your community. So I feel like you should take advantage of that. So I did choose to attend the University of Georgia. That was through opportunities, what I wanted my college life to look like, what I wanted my college campus to look like, the opportunities that came with that, as well as financial for Zell Miller and Hope. I am a recipient of Zell Miller. So that was a really big deciding factor within my college journey. So but it was not easy at all, but it is possible to do, and it is possible to do that through getting your school paid for. So yeah.
Okay. So you mentioned Zell. So for anybody that is in Georgia, Zell, very powerful program with some high standards in order to achieve it. So you had to have at least a 3.7, and you had to have a 1200 on the SAT in one sitting. So you couldn't super score, take a score from this in English or your reading and the score from that and your math and put them together. It had to be in one sitting, or this particular year, 25 on the ACT in one sitting. So tell me, what did you do to prep for SAT or ACT? What I find myself having to do and having to convince parents and students, number one, we're no longer under the grace of the pandemic. For the class of 2026, majority of the colleges are not going test optional in. There are some that are out there. And what I would have to make people understand is, though, even though the school was test optional to get in, many of the scholarships are not test optional, and they want a particular score or a score range. What did you do? How soon did you start prepping for the SAT or the ACT? And what did you do to prepare yourself to obtain the score that you needed in order to be a Zell Miller recipient?
So I started taking the Zell Miller seriously, not Zell Miller, but the SAT seriously through my junior year. I took the SAT. I didn't take the ACT, but I took that more seriously through my junior year. So I did take like the official SATs test to see where I placed. And then from there, I used the analytics on College Board that really like tell you what you need to work on and different things that you had weaknesses in. And that helped me to grow my SAT score to a higher score. I also did a lot of practice tests. I did Khan Academy, and I would suggest to take your SAT score seriously, your test seriously, because I know for a lot of people, because we were kind of under the grace, or they thought that we were going to be under the grace of the pandemic, but it does play a huge role in your college admission as well as the scholarships that you would be able to be eligible for. So I would suggest taking it seriously. Use Khan Academy, use the College Board analytics that came with your practice test, and use the practice test on the College Board site that really help you to see how the SAT or the ACT works, as well as just see where you need to work on when doing your SAT.
Right. The biggest amount of pushback I get from kids is, I don't like Khan Academy. I'm okay. That's nice. I understand that you don't like it, but learn to like it. Learn to like it. And I used to tell them, and I'm sure you were doing this as well with your schedule, just block out some time to take a practice test. Even with me being a real estate agent and everything else, I had to block out time to do practice tests over practice tests. And yes, I tried my best on them, but my biggest objective with most of the practice tests, and like you said, the analytics and the diagnostics that came back, it's going to tell you why you chose the wrong answer. It's going to explain why you should have chose this answer. So as much as it gave you an advantage to take the practice test, it also gives an advantage because of the understanding that comes with the diagnostics and the analytics. It's explaining it to you. So if you don't ever go in there and continue to take tests and continue to take tests, you don't know where your mistakes are at. So you can't correct what you don't know. So again, Khan Academy is out there, and I'm not sure if you all had it in Rockdale County, but in a couple of the counties where I have taught or where I was a leader of an academy, they had Naviance, and Naviance had test prep in there as well, where you could go in, you could choose whatever date you want to take the test, and it will give you, again, a full diagnostic plan to get better. The disconnect comes with you taking the time to actually utilize all the resources that are there and available. You can do it from your home. You can do it on your phone. You can do it whatever. You just have to be, again, in order to get to where you are at UGA, to be going full ride, no issues with ever having to think about financing for that. It came with a level of discipline. And that's, I think, what's most important. And I know you talked about, you wrote your essay, based on that inner child and what you wanted, but what are some tangible, outside of your planner, some tangible advice that you can give people to help them understand how to become more disciplined, even if they're not there right now and they're approaching junior year, and the SAT is going to come up. You're going to have to take it possibly 1 or 2 times, possibly 3, to try to get the score you want. What is some tangible advice about helping people get disciplined enough to sit down, take it seriously, so that on the other end, they are allowed, or they are afforded the opportunity to be a Zell scholar? I know plenty of students along the years who had the GPA They just didn't have the test score that matched it.
So I would say create an overarching goal or create goals throughout your journey that you want to attain. Creating goals or overarching um, image of what you want your college life or what you want your school year to be like or what you want to be known for is a really good motivating factor um, and disciplining factor that I kind of helped that helped me, I would say. And also just telling people your goals as well as telling people to help you be accountable for those things that you have to do because it is sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes you just want to scroll on TikTok, and I understand that wholeheartedly, but you do have to take ownership of your life and of your success. And I would just say to just create goals, creating an overarching image, and just rely on those people around you to help you achieve those goals and be disciplined.
Great advice. Great advice. I need everybody, every parent, every counselor, every student, every grandparent, every guardian to understand that, again, much of the world has run out of the grace that came along with the pandemic. These test scores are coming back into play. Therefore, you have to prepare for them in order to get the scores that you need. Now, again, it's a holistic review if you're choosing to go to college. And one thing I try to communicate as heavily as possible, don't move through life with the mindset, I'm not going to college. I'm going to the military. Okay, cool, fine. Or I'm going straight to work. Okay, cool, fine. I'm not saying that one path is better than the other as long as you are making sure that you're taking the action steps to get to where you want to be. What I do counsel most people to understand is don't close doors. So get a good score just in case, as I'm dealing with from seniors right now that just graduated who were adamant that they were not going to college. But now all of a sudden it's June, it's July. They see a lot of their classmates preparing to go off. They've gone to orientation or they've gone to a summer experience on their college campus. And now all of a sudden they want that as well. They've had that shift in mindset or heart, but now we got to start the process from the beginning when all of that could have been taken care of. Whether it was the ASVAB, we gave it 3 times. That could already be done. I've got kids who are trying to do the ASVAB now. FAFSA, we have FAFSA night every single month. That could be taken care of. Now they're needing to take an SAT. Can they still get a waiver? Well, unfortunately, no, you can't get one now. You're no longer a school. You're not in that school anymore. But again, don't close those doors. Take advantage of every hand that is given to you. Grab a hold of it. Work it so that you have all paths taken care of. And so you sit back in April, like you said, April and March and April, and everything is already outlined for you. Then you can make a choice. So again, I think you have a lot of great advice and you've been able to tell a lot of your tools and strategies on this platform that will help so many. My hope is that, again, they just pay attention, they take heed, and like you said, follow through, set that overarching goal, set how, I love when you said, picture in your mind what you want your college life to be like. If you don't want to be stressing all the time about how you're going to pay this tuition, let's fix that now. If you know you want to spend more time doing the great activities and not worrying about finances, let's fix that now. So again, I like the fact that you mentioned that and you said that. You said that it was not an easy process doing the applications and doing the scholarships. Was there ever a time that you just like you wanted to second guess the whole process and like, okay, I know I can get in over here without all of this stress. Was there ever a time that, even though you had this goal, was there ever a time where you second thought what you wanted to do and maybe just, take the lesser route, the easy way out?
Definitely. Yes, I would be lying if I said I didn't have that time, especially I would say like December, January when everything was like just becoming a lot. I was definitely second guessing my process, but I went back and I read my actual college essays that I was applying to these colleges with, and I kind of saw that that was what I was chasing and what I was working so hard for. All of
Mhm.
my hard work wasn't for nothing, so I had to see it through and really just go after what I actually wanted, no matter how hard it was or it got.
All right. Last question, and this one, as far as advice for high school students, and even though it's for high school students, it's more directed to their parents. What advice would you give parents who are trying to support their senior without stressing them out?
Um, that is an amazing question. I would say remind your student or your child
Mhm.
that like of this process, but I will also like keep them accountable, but I will also say that just let them take the reins and trust in them that they will get it done and they will be able to do it on their own. But if they are like falling behind, just like remind them, obviously, but just trust in them, because sometimes I know like as a parent you don't really have full control over the situation over your child's future, so it does bring anxiety or just kind of stress, and so you want to keep asking them, oh, did you do this? Like just have faith and have trust in your child or in your student that they will do what they need to do.
Okay. Love that. Love that. Love it. So, if you could redesign senior year to actually prepare students for real life, what would you change or add?
um I would add like different support classes that really teach you about transitioning into college and transitioning into the real world. Because I was talking to my best friend about this, I think last week. It was a lot of stuff that they didn't tell that people didn't tell us about transitioning into college and transitioning into adult life. There's a lot of intricate things like finances, dorming, housing, how you want to present into the world, different things like economics, and if you want to open up a credit card and if or that is that going to hurt you or your credit score and things like that. I definitely think there should be like a college readiness or an adult readiness class or not even class, but just an organization for students and
Mhm.
specifically for seniors.
I like that. Again, so we can always get the GPA where we need. We can help you with test scores. We can help you with those types of tasks that you all have to master. But we need to add in more of non-school related, but human being, adult life related class work or scenarios to help you all navigate those things that we don't want y'all learning the trial and error method. We don't want y'all to go out and mess up in order to learn how to do it the right way. And then you got to go back and correct what you messed up, then get on the right track. So I get that. I definitely do. I understand that. So now we're going to transition to what's next for Ariana Boyd. So for the next 12 months, your freshman year of college, what goals are you setting for yourself?
Um, I would say I do, while I want to be, and while I will be active in my community, I do want to focus on my academics. Freshman year of high school and college, I don't want to say it's a make or break year, but it is an important year, especially for your GPA and your academics. Just starting off on a strong foot. So 3.8 and above GPA, 4.0 is like I'm hoping, but I'm trying to be realistic with myself. That, and I also do want to be and start to be active within different organizations on campus. So keeping that same service, career, and fun organizations that I had in in high school. I want to do that in college as well. And I do want to just have fun and meet new people as well as create my network on campus so that I will be able to be successful in my next 3 years and on to graduate school and medical school.
All right. I love it. I love
Yeah.
that. Um, so one last thought before we go into the quick fire round, and I'm asking those quick questions. What's the single piece of advice you hope every listener takes from your story?
I hope that every listener takes that it is possible. You can do it. Don't listen to that negative voice in your head saying that, oh, well, that makes you second guess every decision that you make or second guess your worth. You are able, you are capable, you are deserving of the life that you've always wanted, and it can be attainable.
All right. So after med school, after all of the schooling is done, what do you want to be remembered for in this life?
I want to be remembered for my impacts on people's lives, whether that is on a personal level or on a larger level through my community or different things that I do or that I am a part of or initiatives that I'm a part of. I want to be remembered for my love and my light and my kindness and how that manifested into my community and how that manifested into my impact on the world.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
All right. So what's your favorite high school memory?
My favorite high school memory is definitely my junior year homecoming.
Okay. One teacher or staff member who made a difference and why?
Miss Johnson Scott, my marketing teacher, she really taught me how to get out of my shell as well as just pouring life into me and just understanding my greatness.
All right. What's a song that got you hyped for senior year? What was your song this year? Your song?
What is my song? Can't Tell Me Nothing by Kanye West.
Okay. What's the biggest thing you'll miss about high school?
I would definitely miss my high school friends and my high school, just family. Okay.
Yes. 10 years from now, what is your dream job or what does your dream life look like 10 years from now?
10 years from now, I hope to be in graduate school, hopefully have my PhD or be on the track to getting my PhD. I hope to be researching, soon to open a research company or a research firm and just living life and loving my life.
Yeah. Right. So last one. If your life were a movie, what would the title be?
Everything and Nothing at the Same Time.
Ooh, explain that a little bit.
So Everything and Nothing is it came from a Brent Faiyaz song, and I kind of resonated with that a lot because I am everything, but I'm also a small point in history. So it's everything and nothing at the same time.
I love that. Yes. Absolutely fantastic. This was an amazing interview. Thank you so much for being my guest today on Coach D Wants to Know, my super senior series for the summer. I love all that you stand for. And I am excited to be able to watch you continue to grow throughout the years. So go forth and continue to be great. Be great. For everybody else, thank you for listening. Thank you for joining in. Continue to like this, share it, spread the word about the greatness that we have amongst us in our youth and how they're going to go out and they're going to change this world for the better. No matter what's going on, we have a goal, we have a charge, we have a responsibility to make sure we are sharing the good, the great, the powerfulness of our young people. So continue again, Ariana, like I said, continue to be great. Thank you again for joining. Everyone else, this has been another great episode of Coach D Wants to Know, and we will see you on the next episode.
Yes, thank you.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Coach D Wants to Know. I hope this conversation sparked new ideas and opened up fresh possibilities for the future. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe, share, and leave a review. Also, check out the resources available on my website, keystoneinstruction.com. And remember, the journey to success has many paths. Let's make sure every student finds their best fit. Until next time, together we can empower, innovate, and lead one student, one teacher, one leader at a time. See you soon.